Alright there guys, hey what's up, it's Autobot Mike 18 here with some more San Diego Comic-Con 2014 news updates. I'm going to be doing these for a majority of today and tomorrow guys, so stay tuned. The last one I just did was my Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 teaser trailer review. Now I got some movie news on a few monster movie details that were released at Comic-Con this year, and that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. So check out my Mockingjay Part 1 trailer reaction. I know I was in a different location there, and now I'm in a different one, but don't worry about it, it's okay. So anyway guys, a lot of big things were revealed at this year's Comic-Con, things involving Age of Ultron, Batman vs. Superman, all that stuff, but we did get some smaller news on some monster movies that'll be coming out within the next few years, and one of them in particular was big news for me, and I can't wait to announce it with you guys and share my thoughts on it. And so let's get to it. So I am on ScreenRant.com, which I had my laptop on all weekend, and I just had Screen Rant's homepage open all weekend. I literally just hit refresh every single time I went on. And when a new article was published, when new information had been revealed at Comic-Con, I would just, save the article, and now I'm going to read the article, give my thoughts on it. So, anyway. Many of you remember the 2005, I want to say, the 2005 King Kong remake by Peter Jackson. Well, they are making another King Kong-esque movie, and it's sort of a King Kong Origins movie about Skull Island, and the movie will be coming out on November 4th, 2016. In your local theaters. So this is the big news for me. This is one of the big announcements that happened this year at Comic-Con that I actually got really pumped for. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in the beginning, and at the end of the video I'm going to be talking about Pacific Rim 2. This is sort of my monster movie San Diego Comic-Con news. So anyway, let's read through this article, but basically that was the big reveal. The King Kong Origins movie, which is just going to be titled Skull Island, will be released on November 4th, 2016. Now, why am I a fan of this news? Because if many of you remember, I haven't reviewed the movie, but I have talked about the 2005 King Kong remake before on my channel. Some of you may not know this, some of you may know this, but the 2005 King Kong is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. I know, I like that movie. Now, a lot of you either were iffy about that movie or you just enjoyed it, but you don't feel like it's one of the greatest things ever. Well, that movie blew me away on a technical level and also on a storytelling level. Now, I'm not saying the script for that movie was the greatest, but I, for some reason, really, really enjoy the King Kong remake. I really love that movie. And I'm not saying that the screenplay was bad. I thought it was pretty darn good for this movie, a King Kong movie. I thought it was pretty. I still think it's the best King Kong movie to date. But a lot of you did not like the King Kong remake because you thought it was too long. You thought it focused way too much on Jack Black and all them, Adrian Brody and Naomi Watts in New York City. And I kind of see where you're coming from. I get that, but I loved the movie, and I don't mind long 3-hour movies. I don't mind them at all. So I really enjoyed the King Kong remake. I saw the original black and white version when I was a kid. I don't even remember it. And the 1970s one was okay. It wasn't that great, but by far my favorite is the 2005 Peter Jackson one. And now we have a King Kong origin story where I guess we're going to see more of how King Kong came to be King Kong, maybe from his moment of creation we'll get to see. I mean, I think this could be really cool. There's a lot of different things they could go, there's a lot of different directions they could go for this King Kong origin story, and I'm very excited to see where specifically they're going to go. Now, I know there aren't going to be, I highly doubt there are going to be any human characters in this King Kong, because how can you have human characters if some of the first humans to discover King Kong was that group in the King Kong 2005 remake? However, there have been human bones before somewhere at various places throughout the island. So maybe there have been human explorers before that have tried to explore Skull Island. So maybe there could be human characters. Obviously, we're going to have the native characters that we saw in the first King Kong, the King Kong remake. Because they're always present. They are, you know, they're in every single King Kong movie. So maybe we'll get to see how they sort of, you know, became, how they sort of got to live on that island. You know, what happened to them specifically. We'll see some of their origin story as well. Maybe King Kong will just, I don't know, maybe terrorize them at first, and maybe they'll learn to, like, you know, go to, like, worship him. I don't know. The movie can go in different directions, so I'm really pumped for this one. I don't think it's going to be as good as the 2005 King Kong remake, but this is still pretty damn interesting news to me. And the only thing we don't know yet is there going to be a cast? If King Kong is obviously going to be in the movie, who's doing the motion capture work? Will Andy Serkis come back to do the motion capture work? I really, really hope so, because he did a great job with the 2005 King Kong, and he killed it with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes recently. And the other big thing that I really want to know, this is what's going to kill me for the next few months until an announcement is made, who's directing the movie? I personally would love to see Peter Jackson come back to do Skull Island. Nothing's been confirmed, though. I thought he did a kick-ass job with the original King Kong. You need a visionary director to direct a Skull Island movie, and he pulled it off with the King Kong remake, and I really want to see him come back. Anyway, let's quickly get into the article, because apparently they showed some sort of teaser trailer already of some footage they must have completed or something. They put together something for this King Kong Skull Island movie, because there is a description. Oh no, wait. Hold on a second. I gotta read through the article. Anyway, they made the announcement at Comic-Con. They did show some sort of teaser, I think. It says, as the Hall H crowds were preparing for Legendary's panel to come to a close, studio president Thomas Tull appeared to provide one last look at an in-development project. That's what they did. The film's first teaser trailer began playing what could have been read as a Jurassic World teaser, because Jurassic World is coming out next year. Skull Island comes out 2016. It showed a secluded tropical island, so they did show some footage, but it's like in development early footage, so nothing's really completed yet. So unfortunately, they're not going to upload it online. You had to be at Comic-Con to see the footage. It shows a secluded tropical island home to swinging primates and barely visible beasts in the water itself, with narration describing an entity that was improbable and using passages from Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness, describing a soul that has been driven mad by being alone in the wilderness. The trailer ended with a massive gorilla, King Kong himself, emerging from the trees with a roar and a furious bout of chest beating. Now, picture this. All these people that are at this panel at Comic-Con have no idea what they're presenting at the panel. They didn't say, oh, this is Skull Island. They didn't say what it was. So they're all watching this, and they're like, this is probably Jurassic World. Then King Kong comes bursting onto the screen through the trees with that King Kong roar, and I would have loved to have seen the reactions from everyone watching that teaser. I mean, I personally would have loved to have been there. I would have been shocked as hell, because we had no idea. Legendary would go on to describe the film as based on the famed Skull Island, the cinematic origins of another classic beast, King Kong, confirming they had provided Legendary with a chance to reboot the iconic monster just as they had with Godzilla. So apparently, Universal is not going to be the studios for the Skull Island movie. It's going to be Legendary Pictures. Now, I don't have a problem with that. But I like how they are doing, they just did Godzilla, now they're doing Skull Island, so it makes you wonder, could a Godzilla King Kong crossover be possible? Maybe one day. Maybe that's what they're working for. Maybe Legendary is doing what Marvel's doing. They're building up this whole universe. Maybe Legendary is going to do that with Godzilla and King Kong. I don't know that, but that feeling that Legendary is taking over, it's pretty damn cool. So yeah, Peter Jackson's King Kong came out in 2005. I really liked it. It's one of my favorites. I enjoy watching it. What can I say? So, this is really, really good news. Legendary's both doing King Kong and Godzilla now. The two of them definitely facing off is definitely possible in the near future. It's going to happen one day, so I just can't wait for it. What do you guys have to say about this King Kong Skull Island origin story? I'm really excited for it. What do you guys have to? What are your guys' thoughts on this? Let me know down below. And the other thing that I want to quickly bring up is something involving Pacific Rim 2. It's very short. It's an article that was published on Screen Rant. It's Pacific Rim. It says Pacific Rim 2 will feature more of the Kaiju world. So it looks like in Pacific Rim 2, and there is going to be spoilers ahead for Pacific Rim if you haven't seen Pacific Rim yet. We're going to see more Kaiju. We're going to see more of the actual Kaiju world. If you remember at the end of the first Pacific Rim, I actually didn't remember the ending of Pacific Rim. I had to go back. I read the article, and it says how it ended. Pacific Rim's not a very memorable movie for me. It's an enjoyable movie, not a memorable one. But I am looking forward to the sequel because I think there is definitely room for improvement. So I'm kind of hoping that Guillermo del Torro is going to give us more Jaeger screen time, maybe, I don't know, less humans, because I didn't care about the humans at all in the first Pacific Rim. I don't know, but I'm just hoping for an all-around better Pacific Rim movie with Pacific Rim 2, which hits theaters April 2017, I want to say. Yeah, so a whole 5 years after, 5 years after Pacific Rim. 4 years, so that's impressive. It's a while to wait for Pacific Rim 2, but at least we're going to get one. Anyway, yeah, so they did blow up the Kaiju realm at the end of Pacific Rim, so where are they going to go with Pacific Rim 2? Maybe they'll show us, because there's definitely got to be some more Kaiju out there. They did blow up that world. Charlie Hunnam and that other girl, the two of them like went through that hole. I think I remember this, and then they self-destructed the Gypsy Danger, I think, and they blew it up, and they somehow survived. But it says in the article, the explosion doesn't kill everything in the Kaiju world, so maybe we are going to get, they're going to show us more of the Kaiju world, maybe it's not all completely destroyed. We don't know yet. They're being very secretive about the plot, even though they probably don't have the whole entire plot for Pacific Rim 2 developed yet, because the movie doesn't come out until 2017. They didn't even start shooting yet, so we got a while to go. But they're saying ahead of time, hold on, it says, so we know that the surviving Kaiju of the first film will, by hook or crook, figure out a way to butt heads with humanity once again in the sequel. We also know that Del Toro and Zach Penn, the screenwriting collaborator for the sequel, already have an idea themselves, but I don't think they're making it known. So this isn't really huge news. It's just we may see more of the Kaiju world, the universe of the Kaiju. One popular bit of speculation about Pacific Rim 2 places the action squarely on the Kaiju's turf as Earth's Jaeger armies continue the fight through the rift. Anybody hoping that that's where Del Toro and Penn would take things would be sorely disappointed, however, because, well, they're not. So said Del Toro in a recent interview with Shock Till You Drop, in which he discussed the strain and bits and pieces about Pacific Rim 2. When asked point blank about where the writing do intend on taking the film, Del Toro tap dances around the question, rightly so, because giving away Pacific Rim 2's hook this early would be patently foolish. Before he did surrender one interesting nugget of info about this new plot, there's a direct quote from Del Toro. You're asking the right questions, but not necessarily the way you think. If you think we are invading their world, we're not, but we're showing more of that world. Okay, so humans aren't specifically going after the Kaiju world, because that would just be stupid, but they're going to show more of the Kaiju world. So that's a direct quote from Del Toro. This article is actually long. Yeah, April 7, 2017 is the release of Pacific Rim 2. So they are in development with the story. They don't have fully developed yet, so they really can't tell us that much about the movie itself. They don't have it fully in development yet. So that's all I have to say about that. Nothing too huge with Pacific Rim 2, but big revelation this weekend with San Diego Comic-Con, with Skull Island. I can't wait for it. It's not going to be as good as King Kong, I doubt. But this could be a very visually spectacular film, and I'm kind of hoping Legendary gets Peter Jackson to direct. That would really make my day whenever that news was revealed. So anyway, guys, that's all I have to say about this. I'm leaving links to the articles down below in the description. Let me know what you think about this news. I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say about all this. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more San Diego Comic-Con videos coming in the next few days. Bye, guys.